I like that little chapel. It's rather sweet. I think it's closed. Started its life as a Baptist chapel, so that was John Smith. As the founder of the Baptist. So, another day of life we are granted. One is granted. So there we are. Well, I have to hack it. And I've hacked worse situations. But to be made homeless by the lies of a woman is galling, to say the least, quite frankly. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. I arrive, a complete stranger, as it were, go about my little business, and within 10 days, I'm being locked into my own house, called a paedophile repeatedly by 4 of these neighbours, the whole pack of them, and on it went from there. By the Thursday, less than a fortnight, I'd been arrested for thwacking their child. And the police believed her, at least sufficiently to arrest me. What kind of man does that make me? And actually, if I don't fight it, quite frankly, it means to some extent, I agree. And I've got my work cut out. I don't want it to be before the magistrates. I'm going to see the solicitor today. Well, if I won't be able to see the actual solicitor, no doubt she'll be in court probably somewhere, dealing with more of this ridiculous nonsense. I believe they're divorce lawyers, and ridiculous nonsense goes on there too. It just happens to be my life. They can't win. Not against God. That woman has lied. Absolutely lied. Time and time again in her police statements, or statements given to the police. I listened yet again, whenever it was, last Friday, to just another pack of lies. Just slanted in such a way as to paint me in a very bad light. Well, that gets read out in court. You know, where there's smoke, there's fire. It's a very nasty, dirty business this woman is playing. Makes me feel I'm absolutely clear. I must love my enemies. I am a Christian. And it doesn't test my faith in that regard. She is an evil woman. But Christ says, Love those who hate you. Paul says it, St. Paul. They crucified Christ. And there he was in the temple, and they still crucified him. Talking, speaking. So I suppose, looked at in that light, I'm in very good company. Those of the persecuted. It's in the Beatitudes too, actually. I think I'll mug up on my Bible. It's Matthew chapter 5. Get there quickly. Should do, I know it so well. Matthew chapter 5. Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. Rejoice and be glad, because great is your reward in heaven, for in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you. Well, there we are now. There are words of great comfort to all those who are persecuted, actually. Matthew chapter 5. I feel better already. I don't have my music device, so I can't accompany these little homilies with a music, which I rather like doing, but there we are. Can't have everything. It's a very nice little room. I actually had a wonderful conversation with the owner of this block. She's up in Scotland, and her father was a minister, I believe. But it was a very, very Christian conversation. This actual block used to home a sort of radio station, I believe, a Christian radio station. It really was a very interesting conversation, Christian conversation, where I could talk about stuff that I normally can't talk to people about because they just wouldn't get it. Very interesting. We'll see. God's the boss, for heaven's sake. He can do anything. Arrange anything, sort anything out. We seem to have to go through these experiences in life. God's refining fire. I mean, I've said it countless times, my broken marriage with a child who then committed suicide, Robert Francis. I have learnt things through my former wife, who most definitely is an evil woman, that I would never have otherwise known about in life. And this seems to be another one of those, quite frankly. So I shall work at perceiving my current circumstances as a learning curve and a lesson of life. Amen. Got my old candle lit. Always got a candle. Got to have a candle. Bit of light in the darkness. Amen.